the thing that I thought was fascinating, my mom had a glass eye, your dad had a glass eye, and neither one of us was allowed to talk about it.
Can I ask you a question?
Can you wait 1 second?
Is your mom still alive? Is your mom still alive?
No, she's dead.
Okay. My father died 2 years ago.
I know. I'm sorry about that.
I want to ask you a question. What would you?
Yes,
This is a what would you do? Forget these other two guys. I'm asking you because you had a mother with a glass eye.
Yeah.
So my father had this glass eye, and I could go into that for 3 hours.
Same. There's so many things.
It's so fucking heavy.
It's so great, but it's also funny.
But when he died, I was given a box of his stuff.
Yes.
In it. What do you mean? Oh, well,
Yeah.
I told you shouldn't have an audience at this guy.
By the way, the same.
I open up the box.
Yeah.
Of course.
It's my father's glass eye.
Wait a
gotta
minute.
be.
The same thing.
Who
When
else?
my mom died, my sister passed it around and repackaged it to each one of us. We open. Oh, we got something from my sister. It's my mom's fucking eye.
Here comes the question. Here comes the question.
Yeah.
So I go to my wife. I say, I got this eye. I don't know. I go and I open it up, and my father's eye was such a taboo subject. My father never talked to me about anything.
That's right.
And one time I asked my mother, does Dad have a glass eye? And she said, listen to me. That's your father's story. Don't ask me. But I wasn't allowed to ask. My father would blow up if everyone was afraid he'd get really angry.
Fucking throw that eye at you.
You could.
Yeah.
So now I have the eye, and I said to my wife, I need to find out I can't just take my father's eye and throw it in the garbage. Like, there might be laws against that. I don't know.
Right.
Are there? I don't know. So,
Why wouldn't you want to save it as a keepsake?
No. It's
Beth, where is it? It's a cat toy now.
She's got it in. She's got it in a locket around her neck.
She brought it here for you guys. No, so she says to me, throw it in the ocean.
What?
I go, I'm
That's
not going to throw
beautiful.
I said, imagine my father's eye
Your
washing
dad's
up.
never seen the ocean. Yeah.
He loved the ocean.
So what did you do with the eye is my question.
What did you do?
Well, I got it sitting in a box.
Yeah, of course you do. You got to hold it. You're not tossing in the fucking ocean.
No, you're not. No, my
Sean,
mom.
you brought yours on stage.
My mom. So it was same. We weren't allowed to ask about it. Irish Catholic, same as Jewish. You just don't talk. You stuff it all down.
Yeah.
So there's
And
our
you laugh
headline:
through it
Irish
all.
Catholic, same as Jewish.
Absolutely.
That's our we got
That's
our
the title
quote.
of this episode. And so my mom.
There are a few differences between Irish Catholics.
Just a couple.
So my mom, we weren't allowed to. So my whole life, I was like, I'd be at the store, and the checkout girl at the counter would be like staring at my mom's eye. I'm like, Mom, they're staring at your eye. Shh, just shut up, right? So then 10 years old, 20 years old, 30 years old, 35 years old. Finally, I'm like, Mom, what happened to your eye? And she still didn't want to talk about it. I found out after she died, she had cancer in the eye. They took it out, 2 years old.
Wow.
And then as she grew older, this gets really gross and funny. As she gets older, my sister and I read the medical reports. They took skin from her vagina to reshape her eye as she grew older. And then my oldest brother goes, I knew when I got upset with her, I wanted to fuck her in the eye. God.
Wow.
It's true. It's dark.
That's it. This show has to be canceled.
By the way, we're all talking about being honest. That's an honest story. That's true story.
Yeah.
And that's us making jokes about painful things.
There was a guy on my block, a kid on my block, 5-year-old kid, said to me, he came up to me, he said, my parents told me your father has a glass eye. I was so freaked out.
Yeah.
We got into a fist fight. It's probably the only fight I ever won.
Yeah,
I
was
beat
5 years
him
old,
up.
too. Yeah.
It was crazy. But I could never ask. My father wasn't approachable like that. What happened was I was so curious about the eye and everything about my father because I didn't know him. I would sneak into his room when they would leave the house, which was infrequent. Nobody ever left my house. And you would, so.
No one could figure out the lock.
My father kept his eye with his porno. So the eye
Wait,
is.
what?
My father had porno, like he had some erotic books and things.
Sure.
If you met my mother, she's not exactly putting out. My mother once said to me, I'd prefer to be celibate,
okay.
but your father has needs. I go, really? That's gross.
Oh, but fucking somebody in the eye isn't. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Those books, no movies, no tapes.
It was books back then, and the books were wacky, but the eye was staring at me. I wanted to read the erotic books. So I was all freaked out about it. And my father had a fabulous attitude about his eye in the sense that I didn't see any evidence that he saw himself as handicapped. He did his thing. So
Was he just proud, or was that the thing he just didn't want to?
I think it was a big pain, for him in his life. Seriously, a seriously big pain,
Wow.
And it was a big issue.
My mom would sleep, her eye was constantly open. So when she slept, she'd be like, you know, like this. And I would approach the bed, and I'd be like, Mom? Oh, she's sleeping. Oh, no, she's not sleeping. Oh, she's awake. Like, I didn't know whether I'm like, can I get a glass of water? Oh, I don't. Oh, you're sleeping. Like, it was constantly. Just like that. It was crazy.
Where is the eye now?
My sister has it in a box.
Do you
Yeah.
get, is it like a timeshare? You get it like no, but do you get it for like if you want it for the holidays? You
Yeah, sure, I could do it. She could pass it around.